Hello again everyone. Well, we've crossed the Burton Swing Aqueduct and we're continuing our journey. You are welcome to join us again and we both hope you enjoy it.
You can see now the water's changing colour very slowly as we're approaching Worsley. This is due to the iron ore in the water.
As promised previously, something unusual first. Here it comes. A lighthouse on the Bridgewater Canal. Actually built like that it was. Doesn't serve a purpose, but it's certainly a talking point, that's for sure. You could say that was definitely another one-off.
I just have to film this, don't I?
For quite a while now, the canal water will be an orange colour. It might even get a bit more orange than it looks now. It's caused by iron ore. Yes, it's again very unusual, but we can speak about that as we get further on to another little surprise. They just keep on coming. Unbelievably, even after all this rain, this part of the canal is looking quite shallow. Exceptionally shallow. We have been reading that further up the Bridgewater as you get on and then onto the Leeds Liverpool, we are hearing on the towpath telegraph and the forums that it's getting very short of water as you go towards the Wigan flight. To believe, isn't it? But it's a combination of things what caused that. I just can't believe that we're thinking about water after the deluge we've had. We're now moving into the outskirts of Worsley. What's important about Worsley? Well, I'll try to explain. What happened was, in 1753 I think it was, Francis Egerton, the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, was on a little bit of a trip, and he went to the Canal du Midi in France, and obviously got him thinking. Now before I continue, and it's recognised now, before I continue the story, many people consider the Bridgewater to be the first industrial canal, but it's recognised now that the Sankey Canal, or the Sankey Brook Canal, or the St Helens Canal, that's all the three names it used to have, that was the first one, but it did different things. It wasn't quite in the format of what I'm going to talk about. So take that canal out of the equation and then you think of the Duke of Bridgewater's idea. Now I'll try to explain it as best I can. he came back from his odyssey on the Canal du Midi and looking round there, and it got him thinking about how to transport coal to Manchester, because Manchester was developing very quickly in the Industrial Revolution. And on the, you know, currently when he was providing coal, there was only very poor roads, very poor, and it took a long time to get the coal into Manchester. And he come up with an idea. I mean, it must have cost a fortune in those days, but he come up with the idea to build the Bridgewater Canal, which is what we're on now. And this is the one what started the canal age. So all the canals all over the country, this is the area where it all started. What he did, from the canals underground, they had a natural water source. So he built this canal, the Bridgewater, and deep in the pits they used to fill these boats called starvationers. Why were they called starvationers? Because they were thin and ribbed, so that's how they got the name. And they used to shoot out naturally out onto the Bridgewater full of coal. From that point, because we've got all the water, it just became loads quicker to load all the coal and get it down to Manchester at Castlefields and that, to aid the astronomical growth what was happening. And he became a hugely rich person off it, absolutely. And from that point, canals spread out like veins everywhere, all over England and parts of Wales, and it was all down to the first ideas what the Duke of Bridgewater had. So this really is a very, very historic area, and we'll show you a few bits as we go through the centre of it. At the moment we're still in some of the more modern parts. The one problem with Worsley though is how noisy it's got. Traffic builds up tremendously through the centre, and the M62 is there as well, and roundabouts and everything. So it's become quite a noisy place, particularly at peak times. Some very nice buildings round here, really, really nice. In the distance, underneath the bridge, is where the mines were. If we've got time, we'll try to have a walk round there when we come back. Well, not time, if the weather's decent, we'll try to have a walk down there. So we just come through Worsley Bridge there. Still looks a little bit shallow, to be honest, and we've been on the bottom a few times. This could get quite interesting. A wide beam coming down and I'm just on the bottom, so I'm not going to be able to move that much. We're also under the M62 now. That's where a lot of the noise comes from when you go through Worsley. Where we're cruising past Worsley, the water is down, there's no doubt at all. I'm just wondering why. You know, like I've said before, people are, the forums and that, and when you're talking to people, they're saying that it's unusually shallow as you get through past Lee, which is not that far away from us. It's very, very shallow up there, trying to get through the locks as you go to Poolstock. There's two big locks there, and they said they're horrendous. That could have an impact on how far we go, because we don't struggle. If it's in a bad way, we'll turn round and enjoy the journey back. Because that, for us, that's what canal's about. We don't have to push ourselves, you know, to do things. We do it all out of sheer enjoyment. You can tell it's gone down. If you look at the trees there on the right, they've got all the yellow, you know, the yellowy orange on, and they're sticking a fair bit out the water. What we've just gone through is some gates. They'll come across and shut the canal off if it need be. They can close it all. As long as they don't do it while we're up here. Very soon we're going to be at our moorings. We've decided to book into a marina at Boothtown. We might stay for one night, but we could stay for 3 because some horrendous forecasts of heavy rain, really heavy rain with weather warnings and 50 and 60 mile an hour winds are coming. So we might end up staying a little bit longer and just chill out a bit at the marina and perhaps visit the pub. We've managed to get in our allocated pontoon at Bridgewater Marina at Boothtown. Just made it before I suspect the heavens are going to open. So we've got a pub nearby, we've got a nice warm boat, a stock of wine, a stock of beer. Yes, I think after that wonderful day, it certainly is a bit of chill out time now. Definitely is. Well, if you've enjoyed watching that cruise, what we've just done, just half as much of us, it'll be one of your favourites. Definitely. It's been absolutely superb. We're done and dusted now. We're going to have a total switch off for a while, and we might frequent the pub. Who knows, it's only a short walk to it. But as usual, for now, that's it. We're done, and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra.